Low levels of water found.
Alright.
Medium levels of water found.
A lot of water, which will be
Low
better
levels
next
of
patch,
carbon
but isn't
found.
good this patch,
High
unfortunately.
levels of iron found.
Well, we're not getting a good
High levels
scout,
of water
unfortunately.
found.
We'll have to see if that picks up a bit.
High
Move
levels
into
of
these
carbon
craters.
found.
Still not
Low
good.
levels of aluminum
This is an awful
found.
map. This game's probably not going to be much fun.
Robotic colony found
Well,
Medium
somebody
levels of
found the
aluminum
iron
found.
first. Alright, where's the carbon then? We found very, very little bits of it. Barely usable bits of it, I guess. Yep, that person's going to take that. We're going to take those and that.
Robotic colony expanded.
Go away, please. Is he really going to take the other one over here? Okay. Good luck, then, to both of us. We're probably both mega dead. Silicon's already sold off.
Expansive colony founded.
And we'll just kind of wait. There's a pretty decent scav found over here. Not much better than ours, though. Very, very similar, realistically. But he did get down first, and that makes a bit of a big deal. A bit of a huge difference. Ah, we're just a half second late to that. Again, cost us $500 extra, which is kind of a big deal at this stage of the game. We could grab more carbon. There are, what, 3 scavs this game? It's a little risky, though.
Robotic colony expanded.
Probably not the best idea to just grab more carbon. We should have grabbed the silicon immediately. What we can do is maybe grab some decent water that's close by. This water's okay. This water's better. We'll just go with this water here. It's decent. Can make a little money off that before the price dies. Energy Vault's actually worth quite a lot of debt. We can fight pretty heavily over it. 10,000 is starting to push the limit of it. 12,000, I'll probably just let it go. Because the thing is, right now, it takes away the cost of 200 power units, right? Power's going to keep going up for a little while. So you can kind of guess how much power is going to go up and determine from that about how much Energy Vault is worth.
The black market
And
is
that's how you
online.
can kind of figure out where you should go with the Energy Vault in particular. I'm just going to grab... I could grab a nuke, actually. That would be so rude. I should do it anyway, maybe. Too risky. I think I actually need to upgrade and secure some silicon and power.
It may not be the prettiest looking upgrade.
Is what needs to happen this upgrade.
Expansive colony
Silicon and
found.
power sounds fine. We need glass. We need all kinds of glass, by the way. And I think we want to go ahead and secure it now as well. And then we'll start worrying about power. We're just selling stuff off to get it while it's still expensive, because a lot of scavengers are probably selling into the market quite heavily. And we want to get this glass bought up before anybody tanks the price on that too much either. Or, you know, drives it up too high. You get my general idea. Alright, there was an upgrade to carbon because a wind turbine got placed down. We'll use it to get a little more glass taken up. I'm just going to keep selling the aluminum consistently. More wind turbines coming out. We've got the glass we need to upgrade. Now we can start looking at wind turbines for ourselves. That's an aggressive EMP at this stage of the game. Now we're just waiting on the carbon. There it is. Unfortunately, we don't get the best wind tiles because we're a hair late to them. Should have sent out the claims already, knowing what I wanted. But we can get decent wind tiles up here. So maybe that's all right. We should have possibly used the black market much sooner to acquire that goon squad I was talking about. We might be in a better position, but for now we'll just go ahead and push to it the moment we can. Grab the goon. And we'll put another wind turbine down as soon as we have the resources, which won't take too terribly long. The aluminum's ticking in at a reasonable pace. The carbon's coming in decently as well. So we'll just see how it goes. I'm a little worried that the robots will run away with it up here in the corner with their iron, but it looks like they got in each other's way, so nobody has great production in this area, and it might be easy to just keep them both locked out for a while.
The black market is online.
We have the glass to expand. We're just waiting on the carbon and aluminum at this point. We're going to push to an expansion. We're probably just going to throw down glass.
2,000.
But we might need a new claim as well. Wow, this power. This is insane. This is a ridiculous amount of power. That is a risky and bold move. That's all I have to say about it. Risky and bold. Oh man, I can't even use this tile at all, actually. 20,000 claim. Can we get the 20,000 claim? Does somebody want to bid us up? No, we will take the 20,000 claim. We're going to use silicon for that. And we're just pushing to that expansion as rapidly as we can manage. Unfortunately, I think that locking my aluminum in right here is going to cause me a serious problem. That's what I actually kind of want to do. No, I don't want to mutiny a scavenger. He'll just mutiny it right back. It's not a good idea. I'll just get punished for that, unfortunately. So we just need to kind of wait for resources to trickle in. And once we have the money to upgrade, just hit the button. And we'll see what we can do from there. I would love a hacker array this game because I feel like it's going to be necessary, but we'll just have to see how it goes. Okay, I see what we can do this game, maybe. Once again, it's a bit of a risk. It's a bit awkward. I didn't commit into it in exactly the right way to make it work, which is unfortunate, but I think that won't stop us from making it work anyway. So what I'm going to do is, instead of upgrading immediately, I'm going to buy a bunch of electronics.
Revolting colony expanded.
That's enough for a hacker array that we'll be able to use at some point. And now we're just going to wait for the resources again. We still need to wait a long time for this, unfortunately, for this expansion. Because that's just kind of where we put ourselves this game. Ooh, that's going to hurt. That nuke, that's going to hurt pretty bad. There's actually a lot of carbon coming in right here. That's interesting. And I'm just going to try and see if I can make the hacker array play work this game. Sell out of silicon. We can use that to upgrade, maybe. I actually don't want it to be that low. By a little bit. Okay, that's better. That's better. Now we wait around. Because we want to be able to, when we upgrade, put down all of our buildings immediately. We don't want to have to wait on them too much. We are kind of supporting other people's income through all of this, letting them out-expand us very, very easily. Unfortunately, we don't have a goon squad, and they're already 16,000. So I don't know how this is actually going to work this game, but we're playing from behind. We have to play with the cards we were dealt. Let's upgrade.
Prettiest looking upgrade.
Glass, glass, glass. Glass would be nice. We'll get more glass as soon as we can. Was hoping to be able to put down a bit more, but carbon's pretty expensive, and we've only got, well, 3 a second, unfortunately. That's just kind of where we were stuck. This is glass production and food production. It's doing very, very nicely. It's just the downside of landing late. You end up really far behind. Really far behind for landing late. Start auto supply here. Can't fight over that. We're just kind of sitting in our corner hoping nobody notices us for the time being, quite frankly. Sell down this stuff again. That should be enough that we can scrap this and put down this. Unfortunately, we don't get the most benefit out of this game because other people are actually in our markets right now. But we still have to try. It might take a while. We might have to repair it a lot, but we'll do what we can with what we have. And this is also the downside to the hacker array, basically this idea of you kind of want to find a market nobody else is in this game that doesn't exist. So we're stuck with what we have and what we have access to. I would love to be able to move this goon squad over here, but that's just not the case this game. And something I need to figure out is playing from behind. I'm pretty good at playing from when I found early, but because I do that so much, I haven't figured out how to play when I'm not founding early at all. Goon squads are up to 25,000, so that's wonderful. I'm just going to immediately start this the second it pops up. Go. Aja already also in a hacker array, chugging away, probably working on his fuel and oxygen. He has more of that than anybody else. And yup, that's just going to come tearing through, and I couldn't afford a goon to do anything about it. Sad. Oh well. We have good glass production. It's making us money. Just not making us as much money as maybe everybody else's production. You know what I mean? Aja already sitting on about 67,000 with his very nice robotic found. Moving into these tiles right here. That worked out very well for him. Enough iron and 3 steel mills to keep them running. PB Head doing a fantastic job as usual. He did get frozen out, thankfully, by other people who have the money for that sort of thing. And here comes the fuel short. We could buy into it. It's a bit risky to buy too much in, but we can buy a little bit and let the price go up. Make some money off of it. Not a lot,
Let this be a lesson to
but
you all.
some. That's
Screw
other
with
people
us,
buying in
and
as
we
that's going
screw
on.
with you.
We'll keep letting it go just a little while. And let's hop on out. Okay, that was pretty well timed for us. That worked out very, very well. We can get a goon to force this hacker array to work. I don't know if we can afford it, though. I think we need to take the risk on making the hacker array work as it stands now. I kind of predict a food hack coming in for PB. We did get mutinied. That's okay. It's actually frozen out for the moment. So I'm not going to mutiny it right back right away because it's not doing anything. What do I care, right? I think what I'm going to do is actually just buy into food for a little while. And assume that's what PB's hacking, is food. And see if I can use that to my own advantage. This idea that, okay, PB's hacking food. Because that seems the most likely thing. His hack's been going on for a while. With any luck, this will pan out and kind of accelerate us back into the game. We're sitting on about 76,000 right now. We can't go after Aja despite his debt. Can't go after PB despite his debt. One person we could go after. Everybody just has huge amounts of money except for Minor Threat. He's probably actually the easiest to take out, despite where stock prices stand, just because he has the least to actually work with. 10,000 is real cheap. Okay, Aja, that's what I'm talking about. He just buys himself straight on up.
The black
And that's very nice for him. I'd love to have access to this aluminum, but I need this hacker array to work also. We're going to take it back at this point. We're really hoping this is a food hack. If this isn't a food hack, we're probably just out of the game. That's just trying to read the map and see what we can make work. I would love it if our hack goes through. I should have saved the goon. I shouldn't have gooned power. This idea that I was trying to protect myself in debt where I was never going to make any money was a bad idea. I should have saved the goon for the hacker array. I knew I was probably going to need to move into. Would have been a much better decision. Water is staying high. It's actually a food surplus, so we need to move away from it. Silicon is flying around everywhere right now. That's insane. My hacker array gets blown up. Why my hacker array? I'm sitting here in the corner useless. I can't even protect myself at all. What's the point of doing that to me? Well, Dobbs got a buy on Aja. We're going to knock out PB. Punish these people for their mistakes. That's Aja and PB down. Big mistakes on their part. Big, big, big mistakes. When it came to buying, when it came to pushing too hard. We managed to read their hacker arrays and kind of pull through a little bit. Unfortunately, the mutinies aren't necessarily going to work out. We do know what shortage is coming through soon. We can maybe make use of that. Man, what an awkward game. All right. We do have a lot of power online. When it turns back on, that'll help fix our debt situation. So Rogers is going after us. He does not have a lot of money right now. So that's possibly okay.
Your stock is being bought.
He can't finish us off at all. Like, he can't even come close. So we don't need to worry about him too much. It's actually good that he's buying our stock because he can't hurt us too much. And so, because he can't take us out, he's protecting our stock for us, which is very, very nice indeed. Wow, he was trying to make a lot on power. He's trying to make a lot on power right now. That's ridiculous. All right, that is a lot of carbon getting spent. Other people buying into the silicon short. That's okay. We'll turn those. Okay, those can stay on. That's all right. We can either upgrade or we can try and buy someone. So Rogers being an ideal candidate, but his money is going away very quickly, and he's going to have to transition. Minor Threat, on the other hand, potentially a far more viable target. He does not have a huge amount of money. And we'll just see what we can do with that, perhaps. Get rid of all this. Dobbs actually going to take that last little bit of our stock is okay. Then he's going to go after Minor Threat. We're going to buy into that as well. Make him defend himself. Make somebody take that buy away. We could maybe even take it ourselves, and that would be all right. As long as we can fix the territory. One hacker array of ours down. Do we have another hacker array? I think we do. We should just keep hacks rolling out, quite frankly, as long as we don't go for too many at a time. Even if people are knocking down our hacker arrays, we'll be okay. So we got a mutinied one over here. We can maybe just start a surplus on something else. Get the glass turned off. Maybe surplus steel, because I don't think we're in that at all. So that's only beneficial. Let's buy this. Now we actually have steel if we want to turn it on. Might be a good idea. Just start auto supply on steel. And now we can maybe avoid the steel surplus something else like fuel, which we're not into at all. Turn all these on. These aren't ours. What is ours? We have an Offworld. Wow. Actually pushed for an Offworld this game. Well, you know, I'll use it since I have it. I could even potentially afford the goon to protect it, because I didn't have to actually pay for the thing, you know? That's kind of a big deal when you don't have to actually pay for the stupid Offworld. Sitting on this carbon short, it's worth $150,000 to us right now. We need to finish off Sir Rogers before too long. We were kind of relying on this idea that he was committed into power. Power was going away, so we were going to be all right. We need to get out of all these glass productions, though, and move into reactors. I know there's a surplus coming, but it's probably going to stay pretty strong, so I think this is the right call. Also, we do have the best carbon left on the map, if not the only carbon, so this is huge profit for us on this short.
The black market is
And this is what I'm talking about. This entire game came down to hacker array plays, and that was it.
The trading service.
Okay, shortage on silicon is on the way. We'll buy into that a little bit. We've got some silicon coming in, so hopefully it won't hurt us too bad. We need to start another short. It's probably just going to be carbon again. And we're just going to go for this Sir Rogers kill.
Off-world shipment launched.
Off-world shipment launched.
Look at all the
That's
money.
what I'm talking about. We'll buy a little food, enough to send again, and just keep that going. See, that's what I'm talking about. You can't... Whoa, we got nailed on the silicon short. That's real bad. But we've secured almost all of our stock. Dobbs doesn't have a stock price, and this game's probably completely over. He is trying a water short. That's probably him. Which is a good call. I think, because I think he has a lot more water than we do. I'm sitting on a mutiny this whole time. I'm just going to use it there, give myself some nice... Oh, yeah, he kills it. He completely destroys the price of water. He was sitting on that one for quite some time. We have the territory of Sir Rogers. We are making very nice fuel.
Bidding will begin at.
That's a claim auction that I can't bid on because I was typing. Oh, that's a bug, by the way. Everybody know that. If you open up a chat box, close it and deal with the auction and come back later. Seriously. I'm actually just going to turn those off because I don't even want to bother when they turn unprofitable. Like, I've got iron coming in. I'll just sit on that. Thank you. And the carbon short's probably just going to auto-win us the game. If it wasn't going to, the Offworld would. All he can do is really surplus it. And so I don't see either of his hack arrays working. So I'm not too worried about that, realistically. Blow up the patent lab for good measure. It's a fine balance making a play like that. And I guess we're the ones that came out on top at the end of the day.
Off-world shipment launched. Look at all the money.
This is why I also speak out against too big of games.
Our hackers have compromised the trading servers. Price manipulation begins shortly.
Because we were able to just counterattack when somebody else attacked, and it made for a really weird situation. Blah. Offworld market is pretty much 2 per HQ. I was actually wondering if it would be a good idea to limit all... Guys, the hack array is fun, says Dobbs. I was wondering if it would be a good idea to limit all advanced buildings except for the Offworld to 1 per HQ. How do I know that for sure? The only thing most people can agree on is that hack array is taking a very dominating place. How does who know what? Well, there are so many things that can be tweaked before taking drastic measures such as that. Should be allowed to build more than one. Restriction. It was tweaked once already, but that's not enough. Start it once around, not fire one. 20 seconds or something. It's all interesting conversation going in here. I'm glad you guys are talking about this. A lot of black market came down on me that game, but 1, no mask. 2 was not scientific. Yeah, PB, I know. I didn't target you at all, though. I only tried to use your hacks because you had that food monopoly, and I wasn't sure if that's what you were going into or not, but I was already into glass myself. So I was like, I guess I'll put all my money in food and everything else in glass. Then you might have shorted something completely different, but I thought it was worth a shot. My incredibly nuanced suggestion for the hack array is to remove it. Yeah. Limit to 1 and maybe add a cooldown. I don't know, guys. It just has a huge effect on the game at this point. And we could see it there. That's all that game was everybody like trying to rush to a hack array who was actually in it. You surplused food. That was nuts, PB. I thought you might have surplused food. And I was like, PB, why would you surplus food? You're making food. Do you want to explain that one to me? Is that literally just because you thought maybe people bought into food? Yeah, people buying into it for some reason. I bought into it. The surplus didn't really hurt because I just sold right back out of it. And I didn't really lose much money there. Because, I saw the surplus coming. And that was part of it, was I was a scavenger. So I could kind of get away with being a little bit wrong when it comes to those kind of things. But yeah, surplusing food is a weird decision because it was the only thing you had that was a monopoly. I could tell it went from 200 to 300. Yeah, I bought it back when it was like 180. So I think that it just kind of so happened that I noticed that you had that monopoly and that was the monopoly on the map before other people did. I bought it early and I sold the second the surplus was coming in. And so it actually worked out pretty well for me that you surplused food, I guess, but it was a weird game. And then I made over half my money on carbon because I got PB and I had all the carbon on the map and that was GG. But yeah, it was an interesting game. And not really, it was an odd game, guys. It was kind of weird. I think it just got to the point where people died on their debt when power started going nuts again. Everybody's fighting to make money. Everybody's fighting to make stock buys. What a strange game. What a strange game. Only making about 60,000 for PB. Dobbs made about 120. He stayed in very, very well. Aja was scary that game. Making $130,000. Fuel working out rather well for him, but I think debt just killed him. And that's kind of the downside of robotic right now, that punishing power of debt. I am reviewing this game, and I'm sorry if people don't like that. Sir Roger's making about 100,000 on World, but then you can't discount his power play, which did make him a large amount of money, but I don't think he was able to really use the shorts and surpluses as well as most people were. Bought a lot of water, managed to use it pretty well. He stayed in the game effectively, making quite drastic actions, and that was very interesting to me. Just maybe not hitting one of his high points when buyouts were possible. And frankly, we saw that I just stopped upgrading at 3 because I was like, carbon's dumb. I can't afford an upgrade. I'm just going to try and make money on it. And, by selling off the carbon when it started getting crazy instead of upgrading. And that worked out rather well, realizing that, okay, this is my limit. I need to stop and just save. So that was fortunate. And then it just came down to picking off people who were fighting each other and kind of coming from behind that way. Minor Threat only making about $80,000 that game. Not spending too much into the electronics, maybe a bit slow upgrading there. But frankly, the committal to the Offworld definitely killed him, if nothing else was going to. That was too painful, too much to sustain. And that was the game. All right.